baby. Today we're doing the Magic Maze with a little bit of curly brace. We're still cave storying. Who out cave in their story? Who out is building a cave inside of their story? Late night vibes all around all the time here as we do our 2:30 a.m. uploads. And today I'm going to be talking about resistance to suffering. Guys, this Magic Maze stuff is pretty basic, so I'm not going to get too big into it, but we're fighting the final boss of the first portion, or excuse me, the second portion of the Magic Maze, because there are 3 different portions. And this is basically one of the hardest challenges you can do, Magic Maze-wise, and we're just going to demolish it with my little thief character here. We got Anne Lucina helping us out, as well as Healy, and then I'll do one round just for posterity's sake, just because once you complete this part, it does reset everything, so we're gonna have to start from the basics. But yes, resistance to suffering, guys. Resistance to suffering. What to say? What to do? Well, first of all, I'd say there's no real way to completely mitigate suffering unless you want to live an uninspired life. The true resistance to suffering is choosing your own suffering and willingly going through it. It's just like fear, you know, you're not gonna really get rid of fear. Now what you can get rid of is your inhibitions and not let fear stop you. And that's what you're gonna do with suffering. You're just not gonna let the suffering stop you. You're going to actively choose what form or what version of suffering that you want to adhere to. And then from there, your suffering will transform into profit, you know, or happiness, or whatever you want to call peace. Whatever you want to call the tranquility and balance of life. The human experience is what your suffering will transform into. And to do this, it's a pretty natural process of just allowing, of just being, you know. A lot of people try to overcomplicate things like this, but I could definitely end the episode right here. It's just what it is, guys. It's the reality of the situation. The world is a shit place, and a lot of times everybody just gonna keep lying about how non-shit it is, or you know, how we can be better as people, or you know, how everything has divine timing, or there's justice in the world, or whatever. And to a certain extent, it's all right. I'm sorry if I'm out of breath. I literally just got done with a workout. If that annoys you, then I suppose you should probably start working out yourself and getting in that grind. I do feel myself getting the stank on, so I will have to take a shower after this. But I just felt this on my soul because just like these workouts that I do, it's like, it's not fun. I'll say it like that. It's not fun, but you have resistance to it because of your choosing it, because of your chosen sacrifices, because you're offering yourself as a tribute to, you know, whatever you worship, whatever you praise, whatever your jurisdiction of religion is, because I do think religion helps us in an individual level. On a group dynamic level, it's debatable. It's debatable. But I think on an individualistic level, groups do help us. Our groups, excuse me. Religion does help us. It's just when you apply it to groups, when you apply it to base levels of, you know, justice and things that people are doing in the world, it doesn't really equate to good profits, right? So what you need to remember about this entire religion, or this entire thing, is that a lot of times people are really going to lie to you. You know, I've talked about this before. It's the lies of religion, where, you know, they tell you what to suffer for. Nobody should have to tell you what to suffer for. You should just know it in your heart, in your soul. Like, this is me. This is what my suffering is going to be. This is my cross to bear. And once it's not forced upon you, once it's something that you willingly take upon, that's your resistance. That builds your resilience. That builds your defensive points, because it's something that you're actively trying to work with, not against. That's the main thing, guys. We have to work with our suffering. We have to make suffering our friend. Suffering your savior, if you will, because that's the one thing that just stays stable in life, really. It's just suffering. And that's what you got to remember, because once you get through the suffering, all you're going to do, and this is going to be so sad to really, you know, put into brass tacks and make you guys realize, if you haven't realized it already, but all you're going to do is bring upon yourself more suffering. Yes, I said it. There is no light at the end of the tunnel. There is no rainbow at the end of the brig. There is no magical, candy mountain at the end of the journey or the workout. It's just going to automatically bring you bigger problems, bigger fish to fry, stronger enemies. But I don't know. I like shonen. I like shonen. I've got a little bit of a stupid hope core attitude with the world, and I just like fighting bigger and badder opponents, if you will. So for me, this is something that actually motivates me. Strangely enough, to just know that if I suffer more, then I'll get a chance to suffer even more in the future. And that's the only thing that's really going to stay, stable, permanent in life. It's just the fact that we're all here to basically die and suffer for our cause. For our cause, not for our cost. The cost of suffering is it's pretty basic laid out there. I mean, of course, it's the pain, it's the time, it's the lack of enjoyment or pleasure, of course. But you got to remember, it's just like these video games, man. Like, video games are modeled after life, and that's because in life all we're doing is fighting bigger and bigger battles. In video games, what do you do in this game? You fight monsters so that you can fight monsters better. It's not like I'm fighting all these monsters so that I can, relax and just chill in town for the rest of the game and not do anything else. It's not what I'm playing the game for. I'm fighting the monsters so that I can fight more monsters in a better way, and they can be easier. But, the monsters that I'm going to be fighting in the future are not going to be easier because the monsters got weaker. The monsters are getting stronger, but I'm getting stronger than the strong monsters. You see what I'm saying here? And that's what happens with your suffering. When you suffer willingly, it's not that the world is going to get easier around you. It's that the world is actually going to equate to your power level automatically. And the fact of the matter is that not a lot of people are going to wait up for you and show you that grace of courage and allow you to just blossom your wings and show your true full power potential. A lot of things are going to rise to your standard and try to meet you there, or try to one up you, or give you all these tests, or give you all these shit sort of goalposts that are raising constantly, and just the bar is going to be slightly out of your reach at all times. And you got to realize it's not something that's actively trying to work against you. It's seeing that you're playing the game correctly, and it's equating that to you so that you get some difficulty spikes, and so that you can enjoy the human experience. The human experience is a video game. It's not all good, it's not all bad. If you play in a good game, you want to lose sometimes. You don't want to just have this easy challenge that's, and I know some people do play the games for that. I know some people do play games for that. They play games just to relax, just to have a little something on the side, just to do whatever with. That if you're that kind of gamer, I'm sorry, this channel is probably not for you. This is a self-improvement channel. This is a grind mindset channel. This is a hope core channel. And anybody who with hope, I hope that was so lame. I hope you have a goal or a purpose in life. Because if you don't, and you just have this random hope for something, and you're just sitting on your ass, and you're just like, I've got all the hope that the world will be a better. I'm sorry. It's probably not going to work out that way. I mean, it might work out, but you're going to have to be set up with some high-level boss characters. You're going to have to have a lineage of SSSRs already under your belt if you're that kind of person. And even still, it's very easy to screw it all up if you have a bunch of SSRs under your belt. You got to realize that too, guys. It's like nothing is stable and nothing is permanent, which is why we have to choose our suffering and build our resistance. You got to build all your stats, of course. But resistance is incredibly important in this world, because the world right now is designed to beat everybody down to a pulp at the bottom, unless you're at the very tippy top. And not a lot of people are there. Not a lot of people are there, because of course it's the tip top. And the people who are there at the top are not allowing anybody else to get to the top. And it's very sad that we're built and we're lied to, and we're told the American dream, and we're told you can do anything, you can be anything, when in reality, it's like you can choose whatever suffering you want. That's not going to guarantee you success. The suffering is, like I said, the only thing it's going to guarantee you is stronger challenges ahead. And the stronger challenges ahead are not necessarily going to lead you to better prizes. Like I said, we're playing an MMO here, but unlike this MMO Dragon Quest, which is properly structured and you get good rewards for beating big enemies, in the world you don't. In the world you don't. You could beat and you could defeat a crazy boss in the real world. And what do? You get fired. You could destroy an entire empire in the world from the inside out, and what do? You get a lawsuit. You know, and it's just not congruent to, you know, what we're doing in life, the accomplishments we're making in life. But you got to realize that's why the chosen suffering is needed. You can't just allow somebody else to write your own story for you. If you choose it, at least this is for me. I don't know about you guys, but if you choose it, you'll be a little bit more inclined to accept the responsibilities of what it produces. Just a little bit. Maybe not entirely, because maybe you chose it and you're like, I thought I was gonna do this. What the heck? What the heck? You know, so maybe not all the time. But for the most part, you're gonna be more accepting of the reality of what your choices come to, you know? But if somebody else chooses for you, then you're gonna hold that resentment, no matter what it is, no matter what the outcome really is. You're gonna hold that resentment against them because it wasn't really you. You felt like it wasn't really you. You felt like you're railroaded. It's like those video games. Actually, Dragon Quest does this. Dragon Quest does this exact thing. They give you dialogue choices of yes or no, and then you choose no, and then the person just has more dialogue. They're like, but you're gonna choose yes though, right? But thou must. The but thou must moments. And you can't allow yourself to not be a Telltale game and actually have those choices. You have to be a Telltale game. You cannot be a Dragon Quest game when it comes to these dialogue choices, when it comes to these life choices, when it comes to these choices of careers, when it comes to these choices of suffering. Because we're all gonna suffer. Every single one of us. Nobody's gonna get away from it. You're suffering, I am suffering, me, he, she, we, suffering. You know, everybody's gonna suffer, except for, of course, the people at the tip. Except for those people, they don't suffer. I mean, they have a different kind of suffering, but it's I'm not even gonna say it's similar to ours. It's just, I'd say it's a suffering of moral values. You know, they get eaten up from the inside, and meanwhile we get eaten up from the outside. And is it fair? Hell no. And is it reality? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, baby. But here we are at the boss. It's just the pony again. Oh, you guys remember the pony. You guys remember the pony. Pony up, people. Pony up, get smug, get under your rugs, and we'll battle him out. I don't really have too much more to say here. I'd say, to end this off, to wrap it all up here, resistance to suffering comes from going towards the suffering. Just like resistance to fear, just like resistance to anything. It's like when you're taking an antibiotic, what that antibiotic is actually a small strand of the actual disease that you're trying to mitigate. It's a small strand of that. And using that small strand of the DNA of the virus, you get used to it. Your body gets acclaimed to it. You allow your white blood cells to attack and destroy a smaller portion of that so that they're used to fighting it, right? So that they're used to the suffering of it, and then they can deal with the actual virus once it comes in more handily because they're just used to it. And that's what you need to do with yourself. Of course, take those baby steps, but choosing where you put your baby steps is the main thing. You have to choose your suffering. You have to choose a hard, because if you don't choose a hard, your life is going to be hard. If you choose the easy instead and be like, I'm just going to take the easy route, I'm just going to follow what everybody says, I'm just going to blah, 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 it's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. And I imagine you don't want that. Anyways, guys, I love you. I appreciate you. I will see you next time. Enjoy life. Enjoy the world. And peace out. Love you guys. See you next time. Surely we know